What's up, everybody? How you doing today? It's getting wild out there, man. It's starting to get wild out there. How's everyone doing today? Pretty interesting to see what's going to happen with all this Trump stuff here. We're going to get into a little bit, but I'm not going to get into too much of the political end. I don't know, Trump or Biden, I don't really give a fuck. They're both criminals, but we're going to get into, the ramifications of stuff like this. We're going to get into, what this could do for us and things. I mean, now, when you see stuff like this, I mean, if you're an independent, now is the best time ever for you to have a chance to actually win. Green Party. I'm going to wait a second here and let some people get in here. How's everyone doing today? Just sold my RXP for my AMC. Oh, never going to say that's a bad idea, my friend. How is everyone doing? So, wait one more second here. I think we got enough people in here. How you doing, man? Jason, greetings, my friend. Alrighty, so let's just start getting into this video here a little bit. Let's see here. So Trump, I'm sure you've all heard about this, but the reason I want to talk about this, like I said, I don't care about Trump, I don't care about Biden. I'm not going to get into all that crap, but Trump is actually being disqualified from the Colorado ballot primaries. So right when this was announced yesterday, I was like, man, you're going to see like 6-7 states the following day announce the same exact thing. And that's exactly what's going on today. You have a whole bunch of people now following suit. So we'll pull out some articles from these states here so you guys can see too. But just pull up an article here. So we have 7 states trying to remove Trump now from the ballots. And like I said, this is going to have a domino effect. Like I said, I don't care how you feel about Trump, Biden, any of that. I'm not going to get into that today. I'm just going to say what this, like I said, this is crazy. We're in a democracy, and we're going to start removing people that are, I mean, whether you like them or not, man, this is still fucking crazy to me, but whatever, we'll get into this again here. Let's just get back into this. Like I said, I'm trying to stay in a line here, because I know everybody gets so I don't talk about my politics or I'll hate you forever, so I'm trying not to get anyone all pissy today, but like I said, so now you're going to have all of these states, basically all Democratic states are going to come in here, they're going to start trying to ban his ass. They're going to make everybody write him in. So this is pretty crazy to me, because if you look at the data and everything, like I said, I'm not Trump, Biden, I'm just stating fact here. So if you look at the data, pretty much like Trump was probably going to take 2024. Let's be real. But if you come over here and start looking at this, Michigan Supreme Court files to seek block Trump from state preliminary ballot, and that was yesterday. So you got Michigan going. California is now doing it. Oops, sorry about that. So California is now doing it. You also have, where's the other ones? You have New Hampshire. Maine is supposed to decide by Friday. Arizona's still trying to do it. Now, New Mexico wants to do it because they're also the ones who said it was an insurrection. So, like I said, you're going to start seeing Trump getting removed from some of these ballots. Now, why I bring this up and why I think this is actually kind of funny is what you're going to see now is Republicans retaliate. They're not going to just sit there and, oh, you're going to take the guy away that was going to win it for us, and we're just going to sit here lying down. So now you're seeing these guys kind of go back and forth with each other, and it's going to get real interesting from here on out. So Republicans, led by DeSantis, threatened to pull Biden now from ballots. So now you got people on the red side threatening to pull Biden. Now you have the state of Texas officially threatens to remove Biden from the ballot in retaliation for Trump. What is going on? Like, what is going on here? This is supposed to be a democracy right now. Not our politicians being children saying, if I can't have my way, you can't do this, and you can't, like, what the fuck is happening? This is insane. So now we're going to basically try and get both all these presidential guys banned, which, good, I don't give a fuck. They're both criminals. They both can go. I don't give a fuck about either one of them. But it's just the fact, like, what the fuck is going on here? So now we're going to start getting presidential candidates, which good, because I hate Democrats, I hate Republicans. Like I said, if you're an independent, now is your time to fucking shine, dude. And what I think is going to start happening is because they're obviously pissed off at each other. They're going to keep fighting. They're going to keep on doing, well, if you do this, I'll do this. But what is really going to be fun is this is the time where I always say finger pointing and secrets come out. Because now you're going to have all these entitled politicians, these crybabies that aren't getting their fucking way, aren't getting what they want. So what are they going to do? They're going to tell on other politicians. And then they're going to tell, and then those politicians will tell on the other politicians. And what'll be funny is they'll fucking tell on each other for shit that they themselves are doing. So so right now, currently what happened is the rulings didn't stay. So until the 4th of January. So they tried to, it doesn't go into effect until the 4th of January. So currently, unless another court that's above them can come in before January 4th, and then they say, all right, we're going to throw this out. Until then, it's not into effect because it's in state. But so until the 4th comes, if we'll see if another court picks it up or not. But I feel like it's going to get real fucking crazy with this, and I think you're going to have some people telling on some people. I'm kind of excited to see what this turns into, but at the same time, this is fucking, when you think of democracy in the United States, when you think about the presidential election and all this is fucking insane. You do what I want, or I'm going to remove your guy. I'm going to remove your fucking candidate because we're probably going to lose. So I'll just fucking get him off the list. Only in the fucking Democratic states. Like I said, it's like a power struggle right now over there. And both of them are going to try and blame the other. Because right now, everything is so fucked in the United States. They're just going to keep blaming each other. Now you're going to see a lot of these like skeletons come out. In this next week or two, you're going to see skeletons coming out about all these politicians, and I can't fucking wait. But like I said, when you sit there and look at this is insane, though. They're literally banning presidents from ballots. And when you read this Texas one, I don't know what grounds they can just, oh, fuck them. I'm going to go ahead and take them off the ballot. I'm going to post some of these things here, but this shit is fucking crazy, dude. We're banning you from fucking states. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and Republicans are going to go ahead and then ban Biden in retaliation. What the fuck is happening? What is happening? Like, literally, this is fucking crazy, dude. So, like I said, I just wanted to get into that. I didn't want to get into pro-Biden. Like I said, I don't give a fuck either one. They're all fucking criminals. I don't give a shit what criminal's in fucking office. Unless unless it's actually somebody that's going to come in and do shit, which isn't, because we know what they fucking care about, not us. But one of the things that I wanted people to start looking at is, some of the ways that they are getting fucked. And they are sitting there making new bubbles. They are putting it over here. Now that's bursting. And this is bursting. But one of the things that I think is very interesting is people are waking up. They're done listening to their fucking lies. And it's about time. People are turning off mainstream media. If you look here at all these, this is a year-to-date change. Year-to-year change, sorry. People are tuning into them less and less and less and less because no one believes their bullshit anymore. Everybody knows that we're sitting there getting fucking fed lies and lies and lies and manipulation and whatever they want you to know. So I'm glad to see this because these are giant drops. These aren't just small drops. You're talking 30%, 35%, 27%, 22%, 29% on the New York Times. Fox Media, CBS News, they're all dropping. CNN, 20%, 13% on Fox News. Good. Stop watching their bullshit. And this is what we need. People to wake up, stop watching, stop listening to their fucking propaganda bullshit because everybody's finally realizing the government does not work for you. They work for themselves. And they work for the corporations that pay them the dark money that I've showed you for fucking ever. And this is what we need. The country waking up, them starting to point fingers. And this is that finger pointing stage. They're going to start finger pointing at each other, finger pointing, it's your fault, this country's all fucked up, blah, 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 but it'll be worse than ever now. I know they do that every year, but it's going to be amplified by like 6,000 because of this shit. Just because of this stuff. So, it's about to get real interesting here. And like I said, people are finally stop falling for this fucking propaganda garbage, dude. But one of the things I really did want to touch on for a little bit here is this Jeffrey Epstein thing that was the news that just broke out, that they're releasing some of these people, some of their names, some of the associates, some of the high-profile people. They're going to release the name of 170 of his high-profile associates, according to this girl, this fucking corrupt senator. Or you can just, Washington Times, come over here. So they're going to release 170 names. Now, when you go down here and read some of this stuff, and some of the people that they're actually going to release, it's actually kind of fucked up. They're going to release some of the victims' names. You should not be releasing some of the fucking victims' names. That is one thing that I have a major problem with. And the other thing is with this list, it's like, you guys, this just shows you. They've had all this information. It's not like they don't know who the fuck's on the list. They've had it for fucking ever. They know it all. But they're protecting and hiding all of these fucking pedophiles. Why? Because it's all of them. It's all the fucking them. That's the only way that you would be protecting pedophiles, is if it's the fucking politicians and these high up fucking pieces of shit. It's the only thing that makes sense. If you have the report, you have all this shit, and you're only going to say now, well, now after a judge finally, well, you know they redacted it. It's not like they're releasing the whole list. It's like an 8% where it's like they're taking small victories, but you shouldn't be taking small victories on something like this at this point. This is fucking insanity that we're still begging for list names. You still have fucking judges out there. Oh, I guess we can go ahead and release some of these names on just some of these. Dude, this is fucking ridiculous. Yes, they are releasing names of recruiters, which that's great. They all need to fucking go away and all this shit. But like I said, why are we only getting 170? This should have been taken care of years ago. And the fact that it's not shows you that the government is protecting these fucking pedophiles. And that alone shows you these fuckers don't work for you. These guys, like I said, this shit is fucking insane. That it's how many years later and we're still fucking like, can we see some people on the list yet? No, we're gonna redact them still. The fuck, dude? Like, I'm glad they're coming out. But it's like, dude, you know the people that we want to see. You know the major fucking guys. They're not gonna be on it. And that's the problem. And it's like, dude, I don't know what the fuck. This just blows my mind that, like, what do we need, a Freedom of Information Act request on all this shit to just keep getting fucking denied? Like, dude, this is so retarded that pedophiles can walk the streets. You got bankers who can bank with cartels, fucking fund cartels, fund and process payments for this sex criminal, and they're still doing business no problem. And we're sitting here begging for the fucking list still. This is fucking insane. But 170 names are going to be released in the first week of January here. So a lot of people I know, they're pissed off, with AMC. They saw that the new dilution of the 25 million, and he's working on debt. And here's the thing. I always say this: there's two ways. The only way to truly tackle debt is through dilution or actual revenue to where you're making enough profit to pay it down. I showed you guys already in Q4. Hold on. Let me pull it up quick. 23. All right, here we go. Sorry. So in Q4, we're at 1.4 billion. We're way below what we were expecting to be. We're like $500 million below what we thought we were going to finish. I said we should, with Taylor Swift and Beyonce, we need to be about, I'd say at least 2.1 billion to be profitable. So I don't think we're going to be profitable this Q4. It sucks to say, but I don't think that we're going to. Box offices this month so far have not been that great. Now, the next 2 weeks are one of the best because with the holiday break, so box offices could drastically jump over these next 2 weeks, and you could get to 1.6, dreaming 1.7, but we are going to burn cash in Q4. So one of the things, like I said, we need to start being profitable. We need to be profitable enough to not have to dilute. And now a lot of people can sit there and say, okay, well, we have how much in the reserve, which it's like, yes, we could have waited. And this is the thing. I think we should have waited. And here's the thing. I'm not the fucking CEO. So everyone that sits there and goes, I don't want to sit here and be like, yeah, it is dumb as shit to pay debt off at a discounted price. And just the fact alone that you have your debtors coming at you saying, I will exchange, debt for shares at an above cost of market should show you alone AMC's doing better than people think, and they have a path going forward, and they're not going to go fucking bankrupt. But Q1, like I said, I still don't know if Q1's going to be profitable enough because the movie selection isn't that great. So until Q2, Q3, Q4, that's when I can see AMC truly making those big profits, truly making those, enough profits to pay down debt, to not have to sit there and fucking dilute again. Because at that point, we should have more candy in. If you looked at the release, he said that they have new types of candy coming in 2024. We'll have more distribution. The movie lineup is insanely better than it was this year. On top, sorry, my wife was calling me. But like I said, on top of that, we should have alcohol. Maybe we even have next year, because he already said he was in the works with it. Maybe next year we already have the NFL licensing contract. That would be fucking sweet. I would love it if we were going showing NFL games. Like I said, me and my buddies, I could see me and my friends renting out a theater room for my fantasy group, especially on the day of the draft. All of a sudden, we go do our draft there, and you got the games up on the screen, dude. That'd be sweet. But like I said, you're going to have to dilute or you're going to have to make profits. So next year, everyone's going, do you think we'll ever dilute again, or is this the last one? No, I can see him diluting a couple more times, maybe one more time. I don't know. I'm not fucking him. I don't know the opportunities. But I can definitely see him diluting one more time in Q1. But then after that, I don't see us needing to dilute again from Q2 to Q3 to Q4. You should be profitable enough to where you should not need to be doing that anymore. It's that simple. Look at the growth. Look at everything. Look at AMC's projections at that point and look at the box offices. Until then, you guys, you got to relax. You got to fucking relax. This didn't get them out of it. 3 million shares. It's like, goddamn, every time we do any kind of offering, people go fucking crazy. 3 million shares did not get them out of their positions. Not even close. If you think a squeeze play died because 3 million shares hit the fucking market, dude, I don't know what to tell you. But people want my honest opinion. Is this the last dilution you see coming? No, I think we will maybe dilute again in Q1 of next year. I've said this forever. I think we're going to dilute again until Q1 of next year. That will be the last month I see AMC needing to dilute. Sorry, I am repeating that, but it's like, good grief. That is my number one question every time. Every time there's a dilution, it's like 6,000 DMs. Dude, is this the last one? Are we fucked? What's going on? Dude, it was 3 million shares. They gave it to somebody specifically. On top of that, so people are going, well, the price dropped because of this dilution. Those shares are already purchased. They didn't hit the fucking open market. They're already accounted for and held. That person that exchanged it for it's not going to go, I'm going to exchange it for above market price and then sell it at a loss. No, they're going to hold those fucking shares until AMC gets to, what was it, $7.49 or whatever it was. They're going to hold it past those shares until they make a profit. So everyone's sitting there going, well, they just gave it to them. They fucking covered their shit and that's the end of it and blah. No, they're going to hold on those shares. They're going to make fucking profit on those shares. That's what these funds do. That's literally what they do. But back to this. Back to short sellers. Back to all this stuff we're talking about with the memes and all this. Short sellers are literally increasing their shorts every day. They don't give a fuck. Shorts, we see shares shorted increasing and the mark-to-market value of the share security increasing. Shorts are increasing their position even if the market's going against them. They don't give a fuck. They're going to go down swinging. I'm going to tell you this every time because that's how it's going to happen. They're going to go down swinging, guys. They're going to try and bring this fucker down as every day that they can, but they can't bring it down very fast or hard, can they? No. Why? All of us are fucking holding. We're still buying. They don't want to keep drawing it too low. These guys aren't covering. They're still shorting the fuck out of it. They're doubling down. They're tripling down. They're quadrupling down. And guess what? Short sellers are down $145 billion in 2023. This is on NASDAQ's website. Short sellers are down over $145 billion for the year. Jesus. You guys, you're in a short squeeze play. They're going to ride it till they go down. Just fucking chill out until they go down. Keep, like I said, make your movie theater profitable. You guys want this to be the last dilution? Make Q1 profitable. Very profitable. Make it you guys, fuck, we have millions of people. And millions of you have families. And they have friends. We should be able to make a ton of people going to these theaters, dude. That should be a huge effort that we should have been pushing forever. And I've been trying to push forever. And then all I ever get is fundamentals don't matter. Fundamentals stop dilution. Now, everyone that says fundamentals don't matter, does dilution matter to you? Okay, well, you say dilution matters, fundamentals stop it. So there you go. Fundamentals fucking matter. So I'm getting upset, man. It's like, we're having the same conversations, and then anytime I do it, I get called to show, and it's the same fucking type of people. I'm like, dude, good grief, this Project Popcorn. Just the biggest fucking clowns. So I know we're down, but guys, they're doubling down, they're tripling down, they're quadrupling down. They're going down with the ship, and they're losing harder than we are. I know the price doesn't reflect that right this second, but you're in a squeeze play. It can squeeze at $5, it can squeeze at $4, it can squeeze at $10, 12. It doesn't need to have to be a specific price. It doesn't. Just to make you feel better until it squeezes, it doesn't need to be at $15, $20, $30. It helps. It puts more pressure on the funds that are holding. It means more funds should be deeper in the red, but it doesn't have to be there. These other guys could get hit in other stocks and other assets that could go run up and boom, they can't cover that. Now they need to do this. There's so many other things at play than just watching AMC's fucking price, dude. Now, one of the things I wanted to get into quick before we get back into all that stuff is okay, this is my proof alone. You had people out there literally sticking up for fucking Senator Warren. And shit, and like, no. These politicians are all fucking pieces of shit. Now, this dude talks about the Bitcoin bill and all that stuff. He literally goes over and says, we walked over to the banking committee and we asked them to write the bill up. You went to crypto's main competitor and said, we want you to write the bill to ban crypto. Listen to this shit.
Senator Warren and I have authored the Digital Asset Anti-Money Laundering Act that represents a step in the right direction. Again, I think that this is a light touch. The first thing we did is we went to the American Bank Association and said, help us craft this. And I don't know if you saw Senator Warren's hearing with Jamie Dimon yesterday, but Mr. Dimon said basically, in his opinion, crypto was only a tool for criminals. That's about all I know about crypto.
So some dude that doesn't know shit about crypto writes a bill to ban crypto, goes to crypto's main competitor and says, hey, bankers, can you help us write a bill to ban your fucking competition because we just want your input on the bill? How fucking, like I said, this is why I push We the Investor all the time, you guys, because we don't have lobbyists. We don't have all this shit these guys do, but We the Investor actually does make a difference. They do get in contact with them, with the SEC. They do actually get comments going to where people, here, I'll show you one second. I was trying to find it as I was talking. Just post it. Post too much shit in a day, dude. All right, Dave. So right now they're talking about the short sell or the transparency in the hedge funds rule that Gensler is trying to get into play. That all of these fucking hedge funds, they're freaking out over. Even fucking Gasparino's going crazy. Hold on, where's stupid ass? Everybody knows that transparency means these guys are fucking cooked, dude. They're done because what happened? They had all of this borrowing power. They borrowed and borrowed and borrowed and borrowed at low-ass fucking rates. The rates massively skyrocketed. I hate how I always close all my fucking tabs, dude. Here. And now I hate Charles fucking Gasparino. He's a piece of fucking shit. Don't fucking... This guy's a douchebag. But just listen to what he says.
Not just a broker-dealer itself. Yeah. This is going to lead to short squeezes more. I mean, again, you know, there's a special circumstance that went down in 2021. Fed printing massive amounts of money. Everybody's sitting at home. You know, what was your pastime back then? It was trading.
The pandemic, yeah, they learned how to trade. They were self-taught.
Right, but it was more than that. It was just like if you didn't work, you were on your computer doing something. A lot of people were trading and gambling. The Fed was printing money, so markets go generally up when that happens. Mm-hmm. We don't have all that dynamic we could have. If that dynamic ever comes back, and these rules would stand this challenge, and I think they will, based on the lawyers I spoke to today, we're going to have short squeezes on steroids.
Can you explain?
Because exactly what we have said since the beginning of fucking this entire thing. These guys printed a shit ton of money. All of these fuckers had unlimited borrowing access, and they shorted the fuck out of everything. They over-leveraged themselves. All of these pieces of shit are over-leveraged. They're all over-leveraged. What is the one thing saving them? Transparency. That's it. The fact that they can hide their shit, the fact that they can self-report, the fact that they can sit there and march fucking shorts as longs and do all of this stuff that's illegal. The fact that they can hide behind market maker 203 exemption, fucking B, all of this shit, create liquidity. CNS program, all of that shit, dude. It is a fucking joke. It's all these ways these guys have to hype. And that is why they're so scared of that auction rule that Gary Gensler's trying to get in place. Because if that auction rule comes into place, Citadel can't sit there and do internalization. They can't sit there and hide all these fucking orders. They can't dominate the auction house without everybody knowing what they're fucking bidding on, what they're taking. So all of a sudden, Citadel can't just sit there and run the market, get mass rebates, internalize orders, do whatever the fuck they want behind closed doors, and just market whatever the hell they want. They just got fined. Citadel just got fined for marking shorts as longs. What stocks do you think those are in? Meme stocks. Of course they are. That's where they're fucking pumping. That's where liquidity's going to. So that's where they're fucking making 203B exemptions. Exactly like he said. It's been building up, building up, building up. These guys have been borrowing, and hiding behind regulators who can sit there and fucking call them ahead of time and say, hey, I'm coming over on Friday. So on Thursday, exactly like I said to Doug Seafood, and now all of a sudden he's over there doing all the court cases I said he was going to be in about a month. These guys should not be able to fucking go over to a bank on Thursday when the regulator's coming Friday. Go to the bank on Thursday, open up an ISDA agreement, not even buy the shares. You guys, that's what I've been showing you forever. That's what's the most fucked up thing. They don't have to cover their fucking positions. They need to cover the risk associated with those positions. So all they need to do is go in there, open up a fucking agreement with the bank for flex options, married puts, and buy rights. And the second they do that, they cover the risk attached to those positions. And they can sit there and get away with it. And they're letting these fuckers get away with it. But the problem is by them doing that, what are they doing? They're borrowing still from a fucking bank. And that bank is sitting there, and these banks, their derivatives are going higher and higher and higher. Well, guess what? They're defaulting on a lot of these back-end ISDA contracts because no one can fucking pay them. And on top of that, you have all these corporations defaulting. Where is it? 1 second. Whatever, I'll get into that in a second. You have all these businesses defaulting. So on top of that now, the feds who were bailing them out are gaining less and less and less income taxes. They're gaining less and less taxes. They're getting less and less income. Now their deficit, we just showed you, is up to $128 billion, is fucking continuously growing. And that's the point. They cannot sit there. People that were bailing them out before are at the point of like, all right, we're losing fucking cash now. Our assets, because they had to buy up all those mortgage-backed securities with BlackRock. You had $2.7 trillion in mortgage-backed securities bought by the feds. That's fucking insane. BlackRock went up there buying them all up in fucking cash. Now they're trying to do that pass that new law to where hedge funds can't buy homes. Private equity firms can't hold these single-family homes. Good, they shouldn't have been able to in the first place. So, all of these things, all of these people that were bailing them out, the head of the snake, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, the feds, they're all getting fucked. And that's what you need. You need these guys getting fucked where they can't hide the shit, bail each other out anymore. And then what's going to happen is you already have the fucking politicians fighting with each other. So they're going to start literally pointing fingers and blaming each other when all this shit goes down. Now, another reason real quick just to get out of banks. U.S. Bank with $20.5 billion in assets, loans, and deposits will send out $5 million to thousands of customers after allegedly harvest millions of dollars in illegal overdraft fees. Yay. So again, get the fuck out of your banks. They'll always find ways to overdraft you, do whatever they fucking can. Fees. Now, one of the things that I thought was very interesting, because this shows you again the state of these bankers. And like I said, everything's getting more expensive for them, giving out loan, everything. It's getting harder and harder for these fuckers to operate. More people are going to money market funds. They're going to keep flying there by the trillions. They already said next year they expect another 1.2 trillion plus to leave the banking system and go into money market funds. Banks are going to get fucked. Now, Goldman Sachs plans to up 10% bonus hikes for deal makers despite revenue and job cuts going down. If you look down, their revenue actually went down as well. They've done job cuts to make up the loss of revenue. But if you go down and read, what's happening is all of these banks now, they need to start paying their top performers more salary. The year before this, they ended up cutting their bonus pool. They dropped it by 40%. And all of their top bankers left. all of their top guys and their top managers started leaving. And all of a sudden their bank started having massive problems. Well, now they need to start, when they don't have any money, they now need to go ahead and try and find out another way to pay these guys even fucking more. So now they're trying, here you go. The year before that, they had 40% reduction in bonus pools. So a lot of people left. Tons of people fucking started leaving. So now they're sitting there having to pay more. So now they have to pay more just to keep their talent when as their revenue's going down. Well, if I have to pay my employees more and my revenue's going down, profits are dropping. We already saw their derivatives exposure. Goldman Sachs is fucked. Now, last week on Monday, Ken got that loan. It was for $400 million. We already went down over the last 2 years. The amount that Ken has been able to get from loans has dropped. And the rating attached to those loans has dropped as well, meaning he has to pay more and more interest. He's now up to $3.95 billion. He also sold $1.2 billion in the stake of Citadel to Sequoia. And I can't remember the fucking company. But now, after all of that, a couple days ago, you see 4 of its big portfolio managers just straight up left Citadel. Now, that's one of the things you like to look for is when a company is getting shit bonds, they're getting loans, and then 4 of their big fucking portfolio managers take off. So, is there more going on behind the scenes at Citadel? We already looked at their total assets, their securities sold yet not yet purchased. I think Kenny Boy's in a lot more hot water than he's letting on here. But one of the things that I thought was pretty funny, before we get into, where is it? One of the things I thought that was pretty funny here was Tucker Carlson over the last couple days has been talking about Ken Griffin. And one of the things that we went over is Ken Griffin, the main thing that Ken Griffin gives a shit about somehow is his public image. He wants to look like Mr. Goody-Goody. He wants to look like a fucking hero to everybody, even though he's a piece of shit. That's why he made a huge announcement on his donation. That's why he's buying up all these fucking I'm buying this museum and this and this and this and putting his name on it, putting his name on every fucking thing he can possibly do because he wants to look like he's a good guy in the people's eyes. But everybody's waking up to realizing he is a piece of shit. Here's Tucker Carlson talking about him and DeSantis, and we'll get into this in a second.
Without making Ken Griffin mad. Oh, Ken Griffin, I'm a billionaire. Oh, shut up. You know nothing. And I've watched it. I interviewed a presidential candidate at one point who said, what do you think of Ukraine? Oh, well, I think, Ukraine is a sad regional conflict. I don't think Russia should have invaded. Fine. But it's not in our core national interest. Well, that's obviously true. And Ken Griffin calls the guy up and is like, you can't say that. And he's like, issues a statement next day like, I can't say that. Actually, Ukraine is really important. Zelensky's Churchill.
See, everyone knows that these fucking douchebags are running the country. They're pulling the strings. And exactly like he said, the presidential candidate, he comes out saying it's DeSantis, of course. But we already knew about him and big old Kenny Boy and how he was his #1 donor. But that alone shows you right there. These guys don't work for you. They work for their donors. Exactly like I said. They work for whoever gives them the most dark fucking money. So, while Ken's sitting there, oh, I'm the greatest thing ever. I'm buying this, helping these fucking people. Oh, I'm such a great fucking criminal. People that know what's going on are starting to call this fucker out. And that's what we need. We need more people calling out these fucking criminals, dude. Now, on top of that, the feds and the government were, like I said, they were helping bail these fuckers out. They got the bank lending program, everything else they can possibly do. Well, now the Fed, all these guys are gonna have so much more of a problem on their fucking hands because we're now up to $949 billion in interest a year for the United States. That's what we're paying. Now, this is before we renew that $7.6 trillion next year. Well, at the rates we went at last time, that would have put us to $2.1 trillion next year when they renew the rates. $2.1 trillion a year in interest payments. That's fucking 800 million more. I'm sorry. That's 800 billion more than fucking Social Security. Well, if this keeps going up before we even renew that, we could break $1 trillion before we even knew that, you're up to like 2.4 trillion when the shit gets renewed. What the hell are you? We're in a massive debt spiral. The United States is in such a debt spiral right now. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. And on top of that, like I said, you got the feds. Oh man, Everything is in such rough shape, dude. Like I said, next year is going to be the year for us. Next year is going to be the year where they can't keep fucking putting little band-aids over these giant cuts. Eventually, it's going to bleed through. You have way too many fucking bubbles coming. Way too many bubbles coming. Why do I bring that up? Well, our government can't stop spending at the same fucking time. Do you remember? Think about this. Do you guys remember when we just said, hey, let's remove the debt ceiling cap? Do you remember that? Didn't that just seem like yesterday? Well, guess what? Since that day of June 2nd, we've already raised $2.4 trillion in our fucking debt ceiling. What? This is insanity. In just a matter of a couple months, our government added $2.4 trillion to the deficit, to our fucking debt. This is insanity. And guess what? The cap's not coming back any fucking time soon. So they're going to keep on spending and issuing fucking notes. Well, back to this. This is going to increase drastically. And we had it renewing at the rate before. So it might even go up higher than 2.5 because the rates are going to have to continuously fucking jump when next year we're at 34 trillion, 35 trillion. 36 trillion fucking 3 months in. So by the time those are set to renew, what the hell are the rates going to be at? Which means, God, dude, like I said, the United States, our government is so fucking dumb. These guys, they have the biggest spending problem I've ever fucking seen in my life. The U.S. federal budget deficit jumped 26%. Holy fuck. Jumped 26% in November from a year earlier, to $314 billion. So these guys don't. How are these fucking assholes and all these people telling people how to live, how to spend their money, how to save, do all this shit when we're running deficits that are just fucking growing and growing and growing? Like I said, this is. Eventually, this shit's gonna fucking come up to. It's gonna catch up to them. You cannot just keep fucking printing and adding, and then when you add, don't give it to your economy, give it to criminals. So then they can then take everything you add and siphon it out of your country into the Cayman Islands and other countries. Eventually, it's not gonna fucking work. The U.S. count of homeless people surged to the highest level on record, reaching more than 653,000 people earlier this year as COVID-19 pandemic aid spending faded away. That's their excuses as the pandemic, as the AIDS. Motherfucker, everybody ran out of your $1,400 aid a month later when they paid their fucking rent, got groceries, and paid all their bills, car payments. COVID-19 relief, good job, dude. We're sending money nonstop to fucking Ukraine. You have California on. We'll get into that in a second. California now has a deficit. California, the state, has a deficit of $68 billion. California has a deficit of $68 billion and had to freeze fucking spending. On top of that, we just went over the ageness. In your housing market. The average age of the first-time home buyer is now 36. People are 36 years old now before they can get their first home. How fucking insane is this? Now, what does all this mean for the government? What does all this mean for them? Less fucking taxes. Less money being spent. More and more defaults are going to start happening. And that is, like we went over before, that is going to be your supply. That is going to be your supply of your housing market because new homes have fucking completely stopped building. People aren't building new homes because they aren't selling the old new homes or the new homes that they just built, and they can't pay their workers to continue to build new ones. So the housing market is getting more and more and more stale. If you have to wait to be 36 years old to own a house, the American dream is now fucking dead. That's it. If I have to wait to be 36 years old, what the fuck, dude? Like I said, this is insanity. They're letting the entire world just crumble upon themselves and just giving everything to a certain few fucking rich people that have more money than God that don't fucking need it. Well, eventually, I know you see that, everyone here listening, I know you go on Twitter or X or whatever, and you see more and more people going, what the fuck is going on? They're making videos every day. What's going on? I can't spend anything. I'm working 2 jobs and I can't even have what I had before. What the fuck? People are waking up. Like I said, the more and more these numbers grow, the more and more people are going to start fucking asking questions. And when they ask questions, and you already have red now versus blue at a higher level than they've ever been before, you will have each other agree. You will have suddenly politicians agreeing with the people, trying to fucking just to screw over other people. Like I said, it's going to get crazy, dude. It is going to get fucking crazy. Now, what's another thing that's coming on? Because more bubbles are bursting. Because a lot of people thought, oh, Biden's just a nice guy and he's fucking giving away student debt for free and he's helping out every... No, he's not. People were going to be defaulting on their student debt. That's it. Tons of people are going to be defaulting on their student debt, and they go, we can't fucking allow that to happen because that's another bubble that would have bursted. That could have triggered all these other fucking ones. And it's not like they have this massive emergency fucking student loan aid program set. Maybe I guess they could go ahead and let them have the funding from the bank loan program, but it's not really what it's there for. But whatever. But as you read this now, 60% paid their student loan. 40% of people that, hey, your student loan's back, said, fuck you, I'm not paying it, and I'm not gonna. Because one of the things is a lot of these people were during the pandemic, went online, or by the time these are now starting to be, hey, we need your bills, they already graduated. So they're like, fuck you, what are you gonna do? Call me on collections? Hold on a second, I gotta text my wife. So this is another bubble that's going to be hitting the fucking banks. Like I said, these banks are getting smashed at every single corner. They're getting crushed on the housing market. I showed you that it costs the bank money to give out new loans. So they're not going to give out new home loans unless, A, you can pay that 20% down. You need that 20% down because that basically gets rid of the risk for that bank. Unless you have that 20% down, they're more than likely not going to give you the fucking loan. So credit is drying up everywhere for us, but it's also drying up everywhere for the hedge funds. And that's what we wanted. We wanted them to not be able to go to a bank and just get a bailout fucking ISDA contract. That's what we need to start seeing, and that's what we're getting to. Now, what is very interesting is if you guys look over here at the bank, the funding program, a lot of people, like I said, guys, these need to be repaid, okay? So this time next year, so if you come over and look at when are these majority of these taken out right away? It's in April. So next year, come April, these are 1-year loans, guys. These need to be repaid back. These are for 1 year. 1 year in length. So do these banks have this? Are they living off life support? When it comes time to... When these bills come due, what is going to happen? And this is the date. This is what I'm like. What? This is when it's like, holy shit, shit could come fucking crashing down. Why? What happens when you have banks that come to this fucking, go to the feds now who are already losing money and say, hey, I can't pay you. Now what? What is going to happen? I can't pay you back. What are they going to do? Are they going to take out another fucking loan before their other ones do and now pay the higher rate? Like, this is my point. This is going up and up and up at a skyrocketing rate. A skyrocketing rate. You're up to $123 billion. The banks have borrowed $123 billion on a 1-year loan, and they're going to have to pay interest on it. Not only do they have the money to pay it, do they have the money to pay the interest on this? What is, can the feds just say, fuck it, we'll take a loan or a loss? Are they going to let them renew the thing? Well, that wasn't the purpose of this thing. It's a 1-year loan. They don't have contingency on any of this stuff. And if you read more and more and more and more into the program, I don't see like, well, if there's a classic default, the only thing I could see is it enables the fucking FDIC. So maybe the FDIC has to cover, but if that's the case, they're already fucking broke. Now what? Now the banks that are under the FDIC need to do what they did last time. They need to go out, say, I need more fucking from you guys to cover this. So now other banks are going to need to be paying for these banks. Like I said, this date is going to be interesting with the banks. This time next year, on April 12th. April 12th through April 18th, when all of these fucking loans are due, with interest to the government, well, they have them. Well, they need to go to these hedge funds and all these other people. I need this collateral now. I have to pay back the fucking government. I can't fuck around. So I need you to go get this shit right now. Perfect. That's what we need. We need these banks to fucking margin these guys and say, I need collateral here. Well, the way we do that is we squeeze these fucking banks. We get the fuck out of them. We get our deposits out of them. And we let these loans, unless they come up with a new program, unless they change this up and say, hey, we're going to let these guys roll it over, whatever the fuck. It's a 1-year loan. Now, like I was talking about earlier, you now have a record high, and like I said, about 5 months ago, everyone's going to run to fucking money market funds. Everyone's going to run, and everyone's going to start leaving these, and you're going to have middle banks crashing. It's probably going to happen, I would say, February, mid-February. You're going to start seeing some more of these little banks going down, needing to be absorbed type shit. A record high, $8.3 trillion, was parked in global money market funds at the end of November. $5.73 trillion of that was in U.S. funds. This is my point. Everyone's going to keep running away from the fucking banks. They're obsolete. They're pointless. You don't make your money there. They use your money to steal against you, and you're supporting criminals. Why would you have money in the bank? Other than to pay bills, why have money in the bank? Everyone else, follow what the rich guys are doing. Follow what they are doing sometimes. You know, sometimes you don't always have to go against it. You can go with it and then use that profit to help go against it. But when you see all these motherfuckers doing this, you see everybody getting out of the banks going, hey, I can go make 5.6% over here, or I can make 0.02% in my bank account. They're obvious choices. There's obvious other ways, you guys, to make money. You're losing money with inflation. You're losing money letting it sit in a bank. You are. Credit card balances in the U.S. have reached a 10-year high. Now, I told you guys it was up to 28% average. The average new credit card is up to 28%. The average balance on credit cards is now $6,000. Could you imagine owning 20%? 22, 23, 24% on 6,000? Holy fuck. You're literally in a death spiral with a credit card company. And on top of that, we showed you guys credit card in this country reached over 1.1 trillion. And not only that, that's not going to even count you. What did I show you before? Buy now, pay later, like the Affirm and all that shit. You know, you can click on a website and be like, hey, make 4 easy monthly payments and Affirm will fucking take over. Those buy now, pay later were accounted for 80% of fucking Black Friday purchases, which means nobody has money. They're all going over and saying, I want stuff. I'm still spending, even though I don't have it. I'm going to spend. Well, eventually this is all going to come and bite people in the ass, which will come back and smash these fucking banks because no one has money. On top of this, when is this all happening? Consumer loans, all commercial banks. This is when people are borrowing more from banks than ever before in the history of the United States. And now it's harder than ever, and defaults are at the biggest risk, and you have more loans out than ever before. What could go wrong? There's no bomb, there's no ticking time bomb waiting here. 62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck as holiday spending credit card debt rises. Exactly like I said, people are living check to check. There was a survey out and it said 70% of people that were in the survey could not afford a $400 emergency expense. That's insane. That's fucking insane. So people are living right on the brink, but they're still spending like they're not. They're still using credit cards at 20%. God, like, and it's like, I'm not even sitting there blaming people. You know, like, obviously people need to learn how to manage money, but it's like, fuck, man. Everything's getting worse to the point where, like I said, there's bombs at every single point. And why do I bring up most of us being poor? That is less taxes for the fuckers bailing them out. That's why. That's less money for them. And the more we hurt fucking the feds, the less we are able to spend, the less they're making to bail out these fucks. And that's why I'm saying it's like a revolving door. And these guys think that, like, they're like, all right, by me stealing from these guys, I'll be richer. No, by you stealing from every single person, by you killing your middle class, what are you doing? You're killing your corporations, because I just showed you guys the other week, corporate defaults are like an all-time fucking high. They're flying. People are defaulting like fucking crazy. Nobody can open up new companies. So what made you rich in the first place was having credit backed by a business. And that business is struggling. You're no longer rich. You're no longer rich when all of a sudden your assets, you're losing fucking money, you're burning it up. And the thing that all your wealth, your net worth was tied into an asset that is losing value or now gone because it went under. So you cannot kill your fucking middle class. You can't. Or you will kill out all business and competition, and you will have what it left is what I've told you guys a year and a half ago. It's called a corporate republic. It is a republic built around corporations, mega corporations, and instead of everything being better for the country, it's what's best for these fucking corporations that run the fucking country. And that's basically what the United States is the second we introduce dark money. But we just hide behind the word democracy because most people don't understand dark money. They don't understand it's uncapped. They don't understand it's untraceable. They don't understand that they don't have to fucking say who even gave them anything. And then they don't understand that these politicians can take these $27 fucking million that were donated to them, and they can donate it to their own charity, put 10% in the fucking charity, and keep millions of dollars. Legally. A legal fucking bribe. Now, when you sit there and look at, like, well, how are we all so fucking broke? Because they sit there and talk about, oh my God, inflation and the wages are fucking skyrocketing up and up, blah, blah. But they always show you, oh, they're up 20%. They're showing you the nominal value. Cool. No one gives a fuck. When you bring in inflation and cost of living, everything else into fucking play, look at what our wages, real fucking wage rates have gone up. 0.6%. So our rates to inflation adjustment went up less than 1%, but yet CEOs fucking are making a killing more and more and more and more of a percentage every single year. So what this is doing is it's making it so, well, productivity, what used to happen, and when people cared about their fucking jobs, companies pay people off productivity, off revenue, off growth. They got bonuses. They got all sorts of shit like that. It no longer is the case. Here we go. Productivity growth, even though the product's growing, the company's growing, it's building, the wages with that do not reflect it. It only ends up going to the CEO's pockets. That's it. Then the fucking managers and the higher up executives get bigger and bigger and bigger bonuses. But for us, it flatlines. Because they had us all going, like I told you guys, fucking they had you guys believing, a McDonald's worker shouldn't make fucking $20 an hour. Yeah, he should. Because if that McDonald's dude is making $20 an hour flipping burgers, I should be making $50 fucking dollars being a construction worker. I should be making $40. I should be making a livable wage. But the fact that we could keep minimum wage down for so fucking long, means they didn't need to raise all of these other jobs. They didn't need to raise the pay. Just barely enough to keep you satisfied. And then they do what they always do. They lie, inflate the numbers, and then here's the real number. Here, or what do the feds like to do on their deficits? Oh, we did a revision, and suddenly we were off by 90 fucking billion. How were you off by $90 billion? What? 90 billion? How do you misplace $90 billion? But every fucking time they release numbers, there's a revision a month later by our good old government. Everything's good. Bidenomics. U.S. homelessness is up 12%, rises to the highest level since reported began in 2007. It said eventually people are going to go hungry and they're going to say, why am I fucking hungry when I'm working twice as hard? But yet I look over and I see these billionaires have over $150 billion. What? We already went over this. Like I said, they're starting to call out Ken Griffin. And this is these guys that want to sit there and fucking... Here's another bubble. Companies that relied. And this is what I've been telling you guys. Why did this happen? Why are all these bubbles here? Why has all this happened? Because the feds were printing fucking trillions and trillions of dollars. Trillions and trillions in 2020 and 2021. 16 trillion, as a matter of fact, to put a number on it, when 4 trillion was in existence. We just 4 times the money supply. And then on top of that, fucking rates were nothing. So these guys borrowed like fucking crazy. They went up and they bought this, they bought that, they did mergers over here, they were buying the fuck out of all these companies. Well, guess what? Those rates and shit are all now coming back to bite them in the fucking ass. Companies that relied on cheap credit to fund big mergers and acquisitions during the booming times are struggling amidst higher interest rates. This value that they're talking about combines to a total of up to $1.3 trillion worth of these notes and fucking loans and shit that they have to pay back. They can't even keep up with it. They're struggling to keep up with those. And that only has 1.3 trillion worth of value that they're struggling to keep up with. So again, they have nothing but fucking bubbles coming on it. I know, like I said, I know everybody's sitting there and they go, well, we've been read. And yes, they have fucking done what they do. They control the price. They are fucking mind-fucking people. They're doing all the shit they want. They are mismarking shorts as long. And that's the thing. Citadel, all these guys. Fucker. That'd be nice if I could fucking spell. Okay, like a fucking month ago. SEC slapped Citadel Securities with a $7 million fine to settle short selling fucking regulation charges. They're douchebags. They have been mismarking fucking shorts as long for 5 years. For 5 straight years, they mismarked shorts as longs. What? What? Okay. So people, 2021, guess what they've been probably doing with all of our shit? Why? Because I can either mark these correctly and go bankrupt, or I can pay a $7 million fine. Here's my thing. Here's my question to you. Did they fucking fix, did they pay these? Did they fix it? Did the price reflect on it? Did any of these stocks that were affected by this, did the price reflect the fact that Citadel had to buy these, that they had to mark them correctly? Did the price? No, it never fucking fixes the price. So what happens to these positions at Citadel? When I go in there and I give you the $7 million fine, now what? Does Citadel still have them mismarked? Did they fix them? Because no price action seemed to have moved after that from this shit. It never seems to reflect that these illegal activities fucking happened. So, like I said, it's just bombs and bubbles. And it's not like these bubbles, you guys, are small. We're talking, I just showed you another 1.3 trillion bubble that none of you even knew about yesterday. Not one of you knew about it yesterday. So how many bubbles have I showed you? What, like $10 trillion worth? That's why everyone you see that's in economics, finance, everyone, they're all saying what I've been saying forever. There's gonna be a fucking crash. No one even knows how it's been going this fucking long. And when this crash happens, it's gonna make 2008 look like fucking child's play. Because you have trillions now, guys. Not fucking small amounts. You have trillions across the board that need to fucking be taken care of. Where's it coming from? There's 20 trillion fucking in existence. And we have like 10 trillion of it mismanaged. How can this fucking end well? This is just him again admitting the second that fucking here's what I wanted to show you with douchebag is when him admitting, you know, next year when these rules come in, when these bank fucking like mid-April, shit could go fucking down.
Fed printing massive amounts of money. Everybody's sitting at home. You know, what was your pastime back then? It was trading.
Yeah, they learned how to trade. They were self-taught.
Right, but it was more than that. It was just like if you didn't work, you were on your computer doing something. A lot of people were trading and gambling. The Fed was printing money, so markets go generally up when that happens. We don't have all that dynamic. Could have, if that dynamic ever comes back, and these rules would stand this challenge, and I think they will, based on the lawyers I spoke to today. We're going to have short squeezes on steroids.
Now listen to the words in the middle of that. He just admitted MOAS. He said this shit, transparency will be the thing of MOAS, because he says when this all comes back, we don't have all that information, but when it all comes back,
generally up when that happens. The Fed is printing money, so markets go generally up when that happens. We don't have all that dynamic. Could have, if that dynamic ever comes back, and these rules.
If we don't have all that, we don't have all that information. We don't have all that. That's not all publicly out there on who's super fucked. You guys don't even know about the other ones yet. But if that transparency comes out from that time period,
would stand this challenge, and I think they will, based on the lawyers I spoke to today. We're going to have short squeezes on steroids.
Can you explain?
If that dynamic ever comes back, and these rules would generally up when that happens. We don't have all that dynamic. Could have, if that dynamic ever comes back.
If that dynamic ever comes back, you say, if those short positions ever truly come out, we're fucked. Thank you, Charles, you piece of fucking human trash. Thank you for admitting we've been right the entire fucking time, you fucking loser. If transparency happens, we're all fucked. We know, you fucking douchebag. We have been saying that forever. The amount of criminality going on in the United States stock market is unreal. If that dynamic, see how they try to word it so your average person does not understand what he means? If that dynamic comes back of the Fed's fucking printing and these guys borrowing and shorting, if that dynamic comes back, we're gonna be fucked. Douchebag. And here you go. Here's my fucking other tab I was looking for there. California governor has ordered a spending freeze as the state's budget deficit ballooned to 68 billion. Our state is 68 billion in the hole. What? What? Like, I don't understand. But yet, here we go tomorrow, and we're going to send this exact amount to fucking Ukraine tomorrow. Well, send it over to Ukraine. How about you give it to your own fucking state so they can get their heads out of their ass quick? Good grief, dude. Now, other thing you want to keep looking for, and I keep saying this about the banks, watch these banks getting fucked. Stop worrying about what they're saying and watch what they're doing. Don't look at what I say. Listen, watch what I do. Does it back what I'm saying? No. Well, then it's probably a lie what I told you. Citigroup to shut down its municipal business in an effort to improve profitability. The bank said that business is no longer viable given their commitment to increase overall returns. They're winding down. This just came a week after they laid off 10,000 fucking people. So now they're closing down another branch of their business. They laid off 10,000 people. And guess what they said? By sometime next year, 24,000 people who currently work for Citigroup will be fired. So they've fired 10,000 so far. That means they're going to fire 14,000 more people. So when banks are sitting here downsizing, losing mortgage branches, losing fucking municipal business branches, they're not giving out loans. So you can see in the back end, they're not making money doing that. Like I said, blending's getting harder and more people are defaulting. They're just like, fuck it. Now, this is what I tried to find before when we were talking about the single-family homes. 44% of single-family homes were by private equity firms in 2023. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so 44% of single-family homes were purchased by private So almost half of the fucking market was bought up by BlackRock and their fucking boyfriends. BlackRock, the feds, these firms should not be able to buy half of the fucking supply out there. Are you fucking kidding me? Huh. Now, when people, like I was showing you before, 40% of homes don't even have a mortgage. Yeah, it's because these fuckers were buying the shit out of them all, like I was telling you guys. Well, they're not going to take losses, so they're going to hold on to these houses until they can fucking raise the prices. This is what I'm saying. Supply's not coming anytime soon, so and the government knows it. They know it, and that's why they're looking over at each other going, even if we do the skyscraper model, these office buildings won't fix it. That's not enough room. We still aren't fixing the problem. The only way to fix this problem is to make these fuckers stop buying these houses and then sell off the supply that they have. But the way they want to do it, they're not going to have them sell it all off at once to get that fucking crash. What are they going to do? They give them 10 years to slowly wind down their fucking positions so they can take minimum losses. So the housing market will correct, but it will slowly correct when we need it to fucking drastically correct. And this is them trying to get out of their way out of a hard fucking market crash and making it a slow crash. But again, these guys all bought these houses to bail out the banks. So these guys now are going to take hits. Because the government's going to force them to take hits. And now they're going to say, well, we need you to do this to make up those hits. And it's just now you owe me bullshit. Now you owe me bullshit. Now you owe me bullshit. And this is why I hate fucking firms like this. They have too much power over our government and too much power over all of this shit. They have too much fucking money and liquidity because they could steal billions and get charged nothing to fucking steal billions. These guys have more money than countries. And people are looking over, why is this so hard, Bickums? Why haven't we won? These guys have more money than countries. It's gonna be like climbing fucking Mount Everest. I told you forever. But the problem for these fucking assholes is greed. And the greed will crush the fucking empire just like it always has in the entire history of humanity. Knowledge is our power, and we need to spread it to everyone. But like you said, this is going to get very interesting here with this type of shit. I don't give a fuck about Trump. I don't give a fuck about Biden. They can both get off the ballot. They're both criminals. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter who they put up there because every person the Democrats put up is a fucking criminal. Every fucking person the Republicans put up is a fucking criminal. I don't give a shit about them. Red or blue, don't give a fuck about you. But the fact that they're sitting here and they're having a debate on, I'm going to ban you from fucking 7 fucking states, and then Republicans are going, well, then we're going to ban fucking Trump from all of our big states. What time are we living in? What is this? Democracy. We're in a democracy where one side can say, if you don't let me have my guy, I'm going to ban. Like I said, what grounds can you go ahead and say, I'm going to pull Biden off? I'm not, like I said, I'm not sticking up for Biden at all. I mean, the fact that they even did this to Trump blows my fucking mind. And I don't think this should have even happened. This is insanity. The guy who's probably going to win the presidency is now from the other side. This is a fucking, like I said, this is going to affect the elections going forward forever. It is. You have literally Democrats going, I don't like my opponent, and now we're going to all ban him in every Democratic-run state. That is fucking insanity. And you have retaliation going on from the other side? Sweet. Fuck them all. Fuck them all. If you're an independent, this is the time. Bigum's 2024. Bigum's 2024. Bigum's 2024. This is the year. All right. Does anyone have any questions? I mean, like, it's just shit is getting crazy, and it's going to get crazier and crazier and crazier, and these bubbles are going to get bigger and bigger, and it's going to come out to the point where they're going to have no choice but to point a finger here and point a finger there, and then this guy who got thrown under the bus will tell on this guy, and he'll tell on fucking this guy, and now you're going to have 170 pedophiles come out. So now what are these 170 pedophiles going to do? They're going to fucking tell on somebody. You know, you just scratch one guy's back and he tells because it's, hey, I'll give you a plea deal. We'll give you a bargain. Because trust me, when these names come out, shit's going to fucking happen to these people. They will notice how people, when names and all these shit come out when they should have been prosecuted a long time ago, suddenly they're getting in trials and all of a sudden more stuff comes out. This is all going to be leading down a crazy fucking road, you guys. Remember what happened when they kept Lincoln off the ballot? We had a civil war. I'm just saying, you want to start a type of civil war thing, you tell red people they can't have their guy, and then you tell blue people they can't have their guy. And then you'll have everyone in the middle who's woke on what's going on saying, who cares, they're both fucking criminals. But now you're going to have these two fucking, now you're going to have the red and blue truly fucking hate each other. And what is their ultimate goal? Don't look at me, look at him. Is credit union gonna fall soon? I don't think credit unions are gonna fall soon. I mean, like I told you, the risk for a credit union going down, they don't have derivatives exposures. They don't have any of that shit. The risk for credit unions to go down is on auto loans because they'll give out a lot of auto loans. But the thing is, you know, and they'll give you a better rate. You don't need as high of a thing, but they're also not just sitting there jumping out. Okay. Sorry, the wife keeps on. But unless all these people, tons of people start, you know, defaulting on auto loans. But most people that, you know, are in credit unions, like I said, you'd have to have a shit ton of auto loans default. That's like their big main concern. But I mean, yeah, there is people defaulting on auto loans. I was getting to an all-time high, but I showed you it was mainly towards the more bigger banks. And the bigger banks that had that problem were making those asset-backed securities, remember? They're making auto-backed securities from automobile-backed securities instead of mortgage-backed securities. Which, again, there's another goddamn fucking bubble. So what ended up happening with all those the warehouses that burned down, they fucking took all the papers, the ISDA contracts, all the evidence. While it was still burning, they put it in a fucking dump truck and they shipped it off. But 2024, you guys, that's the year where we should start to fucking thrive. That's the year that tons of these bubbles should start bursting. AMC should start getting profitable Q2, Q3, Q4. Till then, guys, just relax, watch the dumpster fire burn, and, you know, grab yourself some marshmallows and grab a stick and let's make some s'mores, you know? But I'm gonna get going here. I gotta call my wife back. She sent me like 70 fucking messages, so she must need me for something. But thank you guys for listening. I'm gonna try and go live tomorrow again. I'm gonna try and get Peter on. I wanted to go live with him last time. We just couldn't hook up. But thank you guys for listening, and have a good day.